Now, the decision to have Nairobi and Eldoret counties host AFCON games continues to elicit mixed reactions. Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o and his Kakamega counterpart Fernandez Barasa, in a statement, lamented about the western counties being left out. Alan Ochanda is in Kakamega, where residents have expressed their displeasure with the decision. Good morning to you, Ochanda. What are they saying?
Well, Purity, remember that there was ecstasy, a feeling of ecstasy in the country when the Pamoja bid that was submitted to CAF, that Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania to jointly host 2027 AFCON. Of course, the football and soccer extravaganza normally really attracts a lot of fans. And of course, they won. But of course, now back home, you've seen that decision to just give the right to Nairobi and Eldoret to host that particular, of course, African top soccer extravaganza come 2027. And of course, that really not sitting well with the residents and leaders of Western Kenya, who now claim that that particular decision is more of political, because they believe that yes, in as much as those are actually part of Kenya, that Western Kenya and of course the Nyanza region are actually home to talents in as far as soccer is concerned. And so if the Pamoja bid sailed through, then at least two or even one of their stadium will actually be given those rights to host any match of AFCON 2027. You can see we are actually standing here is the Buhungu Stadium, of course one of the biggest, or not really, but the biggest stadium here in Western Kenya that has a capacity of 30,000. But of course, with such a decision, they will have actually, they say they will have just ensure they modify and increase the seating capacity, and just to ensure it conforms with the standards set by FIFA and CAF, of course. And so let's just speak to some of the football fanatics here. Of course, are drawn from some of the fan bases of the main teams here, AFC Leopards. We have Homeboys and the other football teams here. Let's just start with you. You just tell us your name. You can use either English or Swahili. Just tell us, we've seen that decision to give Nairobi and Eldoret the right to host some of the matches of AFCON. You as supporters and residents of Kakamega here, how do you maybe receive such news?
Kwa majina naitwa Elvis Malova. Maneno ya I'm supporting AFC Leopards. So tuko hapa AFC na Homeboys tuko hapa. So the reason why mimi naweza sema history ya AFCON there was another kulikuwa na mbio ya kupitisha kwa Senate ni Eldoret kuwa city. That is a game plan ambayo unafanya kutu national. So we want to tell the leaders wenye wako huko mbele kuwa the reality, Bungu Stadium are the legends including wakina Wanyamas au international, kuna Ambani and the rest. So we wish Bungu Stadium ndo uliangalia zile mechi zilikuwa za wanafunzi, mliona venye ilijapa capacity. So President William Samoei Ruto, kindly sikiza hiyo mwito, wachana vitu Eldoret, tupatieni haki yetu kama watu ya
While giving your views, just observe and maintain decorum, not really dropping names here and accusing maybe any leader of having maybe hand in ensuring that these matches are not held here. Maybe just your name. I can see you actually donning a Soy United jersey here. Maybe just tell us your name, how you feel about the news for maybe edging out Kakamega and Nyanza region of not hosting AFCON 2027.
Okay, my name is Joyce Nasimiu, a supporter of Soy United, but in Premier League, mimi mtu wa Kakamega Homeboys. First and foremost, sijafurahia hiyo news ya kuchukua AFCON to all the way to Eldoret, and here we have a very beautiful stadium. We can host that AFCON here, and we believe that our president, Mr. Ruto, you are watching us from here. We wish that you accept our ukubali ombi letu that pia games, school games hapa venye population ilikuwa juu, so that we want to show the society that it support this particular event.
Well, thanks so much. To the next individual here, maybe just tell us your name and of course your views about the decision to have the AFCON matches slotted for Kenya to be held in Nairobi and Eldoret.
I'm Owen Msoma, Chairman AFC Leopards Kakamega. First, I must appreciate the CS Ababu Namwamba for making sure that Kenya is among the countries that are going to host the African Cup of Nations. But my views are that football is made in Western. And it is unfair for Western region, that is Nyanza and Western, not to have even one stadium to host the African Cup of Nations. I'm appealing to all our leaders, elected and nominated, that we are supposed to come together. That is now where we come as the Luya unity that we talk about. That we have to make sure that we have a game in Buhungu Stadium. Because if we don't, we are denying our hotels businesses. We are denying our youth work to do in this stadium. So we expect everybody that is involved. Ababu Namwamba, you are from Western. It is unfair. Kipkeino Stadium was built because of athletics and not football. We don't expect football to go to Kipkeino. And I'm sure Mega, when we are hosting the school games, are the clips you maybe used for bidding to get at least a game in Kakamega in Kenya. You cannot talk of Talanta Stadium that has not even started. Buhungu, I'm sure by 2027, with the leadership of the governor, Fernandez Baraza, we are going to make sure that this stadium is complete to host the games. Thank you.
Nice. Well, I understand that a few more really want to give their views, but we have that Swahili bulletin, which I'll actually maybe reserve some minutes for you if you don't mind. But Purity, you can see behind me, if my colleague Momo can just pan, you can see the faces here, ladies and gentlemen here, of course, football fanatics here, soccer fanatics here. These are the exact venue that has really been hosting Kenya Premier League matches. And also you saw when the national games for the secondary schools were actually hosted here, it was packed to the brim, no breathing space here. And so from what they say here is that they will really have loved to have at least a match 2 or 3 being hosted here at Buhungu, of course the biggest and of course the most iconic stadium here in Western Kenya, and also on the other side of the Lake region counties, because of course they believe that soccer talents are actually bred here in the Western region. So having no match played here with such an extravaganza, one of its own kind, and of course they're the first in many years, they say is actually injustice to them. And so we shall also still be talking to them during our Swahili bulletin an hour to come. Purity.